Hi, it smells red songbird. I just erased work that I had done, so I'm going to redo it. We had a meeting today at the writing group at St. Francis Residence 3. Maria Cott was the teacher. And Milton Harris did a piece that was so, made me feel so alive, made me feel his experience as a person coming alive, that I asked to borrow it, and he said yes, so I'm going to share it for you. It's called A Love Story About a Flame. Milton Harris was John Milton, the author of Paradise Lost, and he was Homer, the author of the Iliad. Okay, so this is what he wrote for today's lessons, for today's seminar. I bought a box of candles from the confit from a tri-store. When I got home, I put them all together in one room. I then lit the candles all at once. I got a bottle of wine. Wine is wind energy. And as I sipped my wine in a glass cup, I started to hum to myself. The candle flickered like a chorus of light. I then heard a note of one candle. It was a light note, with the other candles starting to play a melody. I swayed with the rhythm of the light. Sway me, sings Michael Bublé, the original ape, a present energy. Soon the colors began to merge, colors. See order, will, ours. Okay, our will. Okay, see order, our will. Our will is ordering colors to be seen. Do you see that? Okay. So soon the colors began to merge, becoming a symphony of forms. Can you see this is physical world? This is energy. This poem is at the level of energy, which is absolutely remarkable that he can do this, that he can articulate energy. Okay, so become a symphony of form. Form is feel, order, room. Okay? He is starting to feel sway me, you understand? So now it's time for a room where you can get it on. You heard the expression, get a room. Meaning, you're so horny, you need to get a room so you can have privacy and have sex. Okay? Okay, so the form is feel, order, room. That's the order. Room, get a groom for the bride. Okay, the groom is speaking. Milton is the groom. Actually, he's the father of the bride, but for now it seems that he's a groom. Okay, the shape, see, he ape, shape. These are first principles. You understand? Shape, ape, first principles. The flames took a saw, super shifting, undulating, driving me along on a wave of love. For then my consciousness began to expand. I was a force, a quantum particle zipping to my tri-dimensional light. I then viewed a path to a light like no other light. The flame grew, encompassing me in the flame of life to know that the conscious, see order, national security, nature secrets. Nature secrets, national security. See that? C-I-O-U-S. C-I-O-U-U-S. United States. Vow. Vice, hurt. Vice, O-W-S, hurt. What is the vice of the United States? Eating meat. Okay, know, United States, that your vice of eating meat is hurting you, as well as the animals that you're eating. What a beingness burns. No, it says next. That's not what. Next, a beingness burns. Glow. It was aglow with wonderment, for I was now the form of light that glows into eternity. You see, that's a high achievement. He is at the level of the light that glows into eternity. He is qualified to live in eternity. You see, that's amazing. That's amazing that he can know this, that it's in writing, that we can know this, we can share this amazing boon. Okay. Do I have anything here that I didn't read before? Within my consciousness began to expand. I was a force, a quantum particle, zipping to my other light, the dimensional light. I then viewed a path to a light like no other light, encompassing me in the flame. Okay, and this is... Okay, I read that about eating meat. Okay, so I got this. Let's go to the next page. I love story about a flame. I'll put a love story, but a story about a flame, page 2 by Milton Harris. Homer. Best lives when he was John Milton and Homer, the writer, my father. Yeah, I figured out that he was my father about a week ago, and I was overjoyed because I absolutely, totally respect him. He's a man who does his duty, who does his job without hogging the spotlight, but his intellect puts him in the spotlight because he's so bright. He's so far ahead of anybody else in the class. You know, so... But he doesn't try for the spotlight. He's just being himself. And that's something I greatly admire, a person willing to be themselves. So John Milton was an English poet, policist, man of letters, and civil servant for the Commonwealth of England. He was a saint under the Council of State and later under Oliver Cromwell. Born December 9, 1608, Sagittarius, Bread Street City of London, United Kingdom. Granddaughter Robin Birdsong, Queen Victoria of United Kingdom, Empress of India, to be the first black Queen of England, Northumberland, British aristocracy and royalty. Milton's daughter, D. Michelle Birdsong, Virgin Queen of England, Elizabeth I, member of the Holy Royal Family Ministry, Queen of the Universe. Husband, Tony Robbins, King of the Universe. The other, father to United States Sing Birdsong Band, King of the World. Grandson to Sun in the Sky, Supreme Eye, Sight of the World. Sing Birdsong is this grandson I'm reading about. The Light of the World, Govinda Singh G. Oh, G. Jesus, I, Jesus. We've talked a lot about the 5 saints that were Jesus Christ consciousness saints. So Gurinder Singh was one of them, and he's being mentioned here. Okay. Gurinder Singh is king of the cosmos. John Milton, member of the Holy Royal Family Ministry, is father of the bride. The bride is a Moor songbird, also known as the Michelle birdsong. Our Ma, our son, see here, Ma, M-A, Ma, our son, God, odd, heart, heard, first word, Internal Revenue Service, IRS, saint word, the double order, heard, what you deserved, no curves, no swerves, sweet energy, her, verse and version. You see, she got no favors, no special favors. You see that, okay? She cast no aspersions. This love's for keeps. Stay sweet, little Bo Peep. The Michelle birdsong. Einstein, Eve, Evangeline. Okay, continue from page 1. I was space. I was I then viewed a path for a light like no other light. John Milton, author of masterful epic retelling of the fall of man, Paradise Lost. Okay, you go over here. Will order saints. Will order saints returned. Real Ostara Gloria. Will ordered Ostara Gloria, child saint returned to grandmother and grandfather. Tony Robbins, grandmother, the Michelle birdsong. Milton Milton was a poet. John Milton was a poet, a pamphleteer, and a patriot. Milton Harris, also Homer, author of the Iliad, ancient Greek epic poem by Homer, set during the Trojan War, the 10-year siege of the city of Troy by a coalition of Greek entities. Okay, there's that. Now, this is what I wrote in the writing group today. It says, to my father the sun, I am sorry I left you millions of years ago. I couldn't refuse to help the creature I heard begging for my help. I had to travel the 342 million miles, leaving the warmth and comfort of you, the sun, the light of the world. The truth is the light. The sun is the light of the world. I know you miss me, your baby girl. That's why you're always with me, lighting my way. And the rest of the world gets to also be bathed in daily sunlight, as a father-son bathes his little girl. Now that I've gone so very far away, I don't know how to travel back from the physical to the spiritual light. Gurinder Singh Ji, Jesus I, has been trying to perfect this plan, Planet of the Apes, so at least I can live in a perfect land. Will A indeed. Okay, will A indeed means will. L is for will A. Will A. And then N. And then D. D-E-E-D. Got it? Will A indeed. Dirt foundation for this land. Solid gradations for this land. With a deed. As Einstein, I mapped my mind. Went a little crazy from time to time, trying to explain the end when it was a series of dead ends, mazes that blazes trails without easy-to-find beginnings or endings. I should say this, Maria Kant had given us a prompt to write from. It was a story It was a poem about being sorry for something. And she asked Milton how he got to write what he wrote as a result of having read the prompt. And he said it was the line about the mind is a fairy tale. The mind is full of fairy tales. And Maria said, oh, that line struck me too. And I said, it struck me too. So those of us from the sun were struck to realize that the mind is a series of fairy tales. Einstein once said, if you want a smart child, read him or her fairy tales. If you want a very small child, if you want a very smart child, read him or her lots of fairy tales. And now I understand what he meant, what I meant. I was Einstein. I meant that the mind contains many, many fairy tales. And if you are familiar with fairy tales, if your mind is open to fairy tales, you can better deal with your mind, which is a tool you need to get through life, to get what you want in life. You need to understand, preferably to master your mind, which is a very difficult thing to do. Okay. After all this work, we have the Encyclopedia of Lifetimes. That's a miracle. That's amazing. We have the Encyclopedia of Lifetimes. See, because before this we've been blind. We hardly had any clues as to the meaning or the way the mind works. Okay, now Einstein has mapped a mind, his own mind. And if you follow it, you can understand your own mind better. And if you understand your own mind better, you can control it. If you can control it, you can get what you want and be happy for eternity. You see the miracle there? Okay. So, people, I wouldn't say miracle, I would say the heroic result of Einstein and Govinda Singh Ji and the 5 holy masters, Radhaswami saints, that did this work, that made this possible. Okay, so people can understand how to succeed. This is what I just said. How to use their heretofore unfathomable mind to forge ahead a life of what you want forever. The gift of how to be happy forever. The key to treasure without measure in heaven is being given to humans for living blind lifetime after lifetime, doing his very best to help the needy soul, the first ape who did create himself too soon. This said Michelle Birdsong doing her very best to help the soul. The daughter of the sun did this. She was first. Before he evolved, before this ape evolved to be a fully developed human being. You understand, he created himself too soon. Okay, so then who was scared? He was scared to live alone, a wild ape without a mate, until you, a beam of light, came to earth. You being the Michelle Birdsong. To let me drive you like an ape car. How far we've come from the thumb to the middle finger, now for the zinger. I'm sorry I left you, my father, the czar, the star, but I love you still wherever you ever are. Eve. Ever. Eve. E-V, energy her. Eve, energy her. A flower with the will of a daffodil. The wife of Tony Robbins, son of the sun, brother of the daughter of the sun, husband and wife, the lovers for life. Okay, now these are, she says, I will make it up for leaving you by vowing to be happy to the manner born. She's still talking to her father, the sun. You'll know you did good, adding happiness to the world when I was living my best life. by adding a source of happiness. So she's saying to the son, you know you did good because you gave the world a source of happiness. His daughter is a source of happiness. She generates happiness. Okay, as Socrates, Einstein, Eve, Evangeline, Amour, Songbird, Charles Dickens, Shakespeare, Emily Dickinson, tallest tree in the Redwood forest. And then she says she's discovered more sun people living undercover at St. Francis. In other words, more people who did not descend from apes, but who did come following Eve as angels from the sun to help her in her quest to help the helpless that was begging to be blessed. Okay, so Eleanor Roosevelt is here. Her name is Judy Redinger. She's a resident at St. Francis 3. John Milton, we talked about. My father, Homer Milton Harris. St. Philip, his name is Bill Leader. He's a Jesus I person. He's a Jesus incarnate person. Mary McLeod Bethune is here. She's my sister. She talks about Carlos. Michael Rafer is Carlos Castaneda. And he is also Andrei Rublev. And there's a movie about him that he was talking to Maria Cott about. It's a Russian saint, a 12th century painter. And it's an amazing movie that you can get on YouTube. Maria said now that he's talked about, he's a Capricorn, she wants to see the movie again, and so do I. And so may you. And all of these people who have contributed to the culture unfathomably interesting works of art could serve you well by you checking out their work of art, because you have not a clue, because it hasn't been passed down to you. But you can have such a rich life if you'll just investigate these people and their offerings. Okay? Rembrandt is here. His name is Haywood Morgan now. Orlando Wright is here, of the Wright brothers, who created the industry of aviation and outer space travel. He was also Orville Redenbacher. He's fascinating. He's so interesting to talk to. Sat down and talked to him yesterday, and the time passed so quickly I hardly noticed I was having a conversation. He's just such a seamless person. He's a Gemini, and Orlando is amazing. So the mother, I found my mother here. Her name is Charlene Kelks. She's very loving, very positive, always glad to give you a hug. They say women need 3 hugs a day, and she's always glad to give you a hug. I am looking for a hug from my father. I didn't have that yet. Pythagoras is here. His name is Peter. Sagittarius. Very interesting fellow. He likes to talk about astrology a lot, which I was Evangeline Adams, the woman that did the horoscope of the judge, judge's son, so completely that the judge said, this is a science. I'm making this legal, because he could see that it was something that worked. Popeye is here, Olive Oil's boyfriend. His name is Will. And he's the spinach-eating sailor man, Popeye. Glinda Singh is here as April, the chef. Leonard Bernstein is here as Sheila, the art teacher. St. Francis Residence 3 art teacher. Clara Barton is here. She's the creator of the Salvation Army. Jessica Toner, mentor, RN. Her parents work for the Peace Corps. She comes from good people who volunteer to do things to help people in the world. Jonathan Livingston Seagull is here. He was, he's a bass player, a drummer, a social worker. Philip Roth, the novelist. He's amazing. A coal miner here, courageous Andre, courageous soul. To be a coal miner, you have to be courageous. You know, you have to bend over. You can't even stand up straight. You have to wear a light on your hat. You have to breathe carefully because there's a lot of coal dust down there. It's an amazing occupation. You really have to be a macho man. Girls who like alpha males, you'll like a coal miner. Okay, then you have St. Barbara, that's Raphael. He was in the writing group today. He told me his best life. Charlton Heston is here. He's a painter, Raphael. Maldonado, that's right. Who else we got? We got Teague Bahadur, the 10th Sikh Guru is here. Jesus Christ. And his name is Mike Pence. Oops. Okay, then we have Gobind Singh Ji, the 10th Sikh Guru. That's his son. Donald Trump is the son of Teague Bahadur. In other words, Mike Pence is Donald Trump's father. Sammy, the host, the best life was when he was Confucius. Dave George Morse, best life was when he was George Bernard Shaw. These people are over here, totally available if you want to come over and talk to them and bring them some lunch or bring them some candy or bring them something nice. Because they lead very boring lives, especially after the lives they have contributed to the culture. And they don't remember these lives. You have to meditate for many, many years to regain knowledge of your past lives. That's what I did. Gurinder Singh, Charan Singh, Seth, all of them guided me back to the beginning so that I could remember my past lives and the past lives of many other people. But it wasn't easy. It was dangerous, and they protected me, and I made it through. So I'm very grateful to the Radhaswami saints, the mystics. Okay, let's see. Charlton Heston, I said that who he was. Gretel Bigham was Little Black Sambo and Ronald McDonald. She had tattooed her face black at one point. Audrey is Gloria Steinem. Rocky and Bullwinkle is Rocky the drummer. Jonathan Livingston Seagull, I said is Philip Roth. And John the guitar player, Leibowitz, was Dizzy Gillespie, the jazz genius. Okay, there you are. I have a lot of pictures over here, but I didn't really get to them. Yeah. I'm going to put out the book so you can know. That's St. James the Greater. That's Father Tom. He and Father John founded this place, St. Francis Residence 3. It's a remarkable place. It's a place that gives refuge to those people who have contributed greatly to the society, and society has passed them by. This is me. Saturday we had a cookout. I am the muse of the world, and I was over here being the muse to the band, jazz band. It was tremendous pleasure. I can't tell you how much fun I had. Okay, so this is my old red songbird, Amour Songbird, the wife of Tony Robbins when he was Abraham Lincoln and I was Mary Todd Lincoln. Signing off from New York City, the greatest city in the world. I have been mainstreaming clues to the marginalized. That's Prince Louis. That's Mother Teresa coming back to get her reward. That's Princess Kate. This is a symbol of my children who are in my womb now. It's Giancarlo Arturo and Aria